How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. A bunch of NBA all-time greats never got the opportunity to play for the team who drafted them, changing the course of NBA history. Who knows what the NBA will look like if Kobe and Shaq were never teammates, and for some of the teams who traded away their future superstars, getting a bust in return, some of those franchises are still haunted to this very day. With that said, here are 15 of the best players who never played for the team that drafted them.
Number 15, Kevin Love, who was drafted 5th overall in the 2008 draft by the Memphis Grizzlies, but his draft rights were immediately dealt to Minnesota for the rights to NBA buzz O.J. Mayo. The Wolves sent their 3rd overall pick alongside an aging Antoine Walker, guards Marco Yaric, and Greg Buckner for Love alongside Mike Miller, the custodian Brian Cardinal, and center Jason Collins. Love ended up as the way more superior player over Mayo, who was one of the most disappointing lottery picks over the last decade and a half. If K-Love played for Memphis, they likely would have never traded for Zach Randolph. The 6'10 Love actually played center his first season, averaged 11-9, and proving he would have star potential. Memphis might have taken James Harden 2nd overall the following season over Hashim to bust. Just imagine if Memphis had Mike Conley, Harden, Rudy Gay, Love, and Gasol. Instead, Love ended up playing 6 seasons in the Twin City, failing to make the playoffs every one of those years, would end up in Cleveland, help LeBron and Kyrie win a title his 2nd season with the team. Number 14, Rajon Rondo, who's not as talented as Stephon Marbury or Steve Francis, but had way more success in the league being part of a winning culture. Rondo was actually selected 21st overall by the Phoenix Suns in the 2006 draft. Instead of playing behind and learning from the legendary Steve Nash, Rondo was traded to the Boston Celtics alongside Brian Grant for a 2007 first round pick that turned out to be Rudy Fernandez. A dumb move, an absolute head scratcher. Boston got an absolute steal. If Rondo would have played with the Suns, he might have been the difference maker in helping the team win a title, but the organization wasted their opportunity. Rondo would become a champion his 2nd season as the starting point guard for Boston, became a 4-time All-Star, and one of the best point guards in the early 2010s decade. Number 13, Marc Gasol. The 7'1 center became one of the best international players to ever step foot in the NBA. Drafted in the 2nd round by the LA Lakers with the 48th pick of the 07 draft, his draft rights were traded by the franchise as part of a package that included his older brother Pal, alongside Kwame Brown, Javaris Crittenton, Aaron McKee, and a first. Both teams benefited from the trade as Pal made an immediate impact with LA right away, helped Kobe win 2 more titles, while Marc established himself as the centerpiece of the grit and grind Grizzlies. Spent 10.5 seasons there before being traded to the Raptors, winning a title, and will be known as one of the best defensive bigs in the early 2010s era. Number 12, LaMarcus Aldridge. One of the most overlooked players of his generation, LA was selected by the Chicago Bulls with the 2nd overall pick in the 2006 draft. The pick originally belonged to the Knicks, who stupidly gave it away. Toronto had the number 1 pick that year, drafted bust Andrea Bargnani, and the Bulls stupidly traded the 6'11 power forward to the Blazers for the 4th overall pick and bust Tyrese Thomas. A terrible decision. Perhaps they were doing the Blazers a favor for passing on Michael Jordan back in '84. After 13 seasons, LA's a 7-time All-Star, appeared on 5 All-NBA teams, posting over 90 and 8 for his career, and one of the most consistent elite power forwards in the game. Number 11, Penny Hardaway. Drafted by the Golden State Warriors, traded for Chris Webber, the duo of Penny and Shaq left many what-ifs. Where the 6'7 floor general was supposed to be the next face of the NBA, combined with his incredible vision and athletic ability, injuries derailed his career. Webber ended up leaving Golden State after his rookie season in a sign-and-trade, while Hardaway became a 4-time All-Star, making 2 All-NBA first teams already in his 2nd and 3rd season. Number 10, Penny's trade buddy, Chris Webber, who was the first pick in the 1993 draft. Selected by the Orlando Magic, immediately traded his rights to the Warriors for future All-Star Penny Hardaway and 3 firsts. C-Web and Shaq would have been an incredible front line and simply unstoppable. Webber, however, only spent 1 season with the Warriors, 4 with the Bullets, 6.5 with Sacramento, became a 5-time All-Star, ended up losing to Shaq's Lakers in 3 straight postseasons from 2000 to 2002 as the face of the Sacramento Kings. Number 9, Pau Gasol, who was selected by the Atlanta Hawks 3rd overall in the 01 draft. In one of the worst trades in NBA history, Pau was quickly sent to the Grizzlies alongside Brevin Knight and Lorenzen Wright for Sharif Abdul-Rahim and Jamal Tinsley. Atlanta continued to struggle badly, while Gasol made an immediate impact, turning the worst NBA franchise into a solid team, nearly averaged 18-9 as a rookie, led the franchise to their first ever playoff berth by his 3rd season, spent 6.5 seasons in Memphis before being traded to the Lakers Clippers at the time was one of the most lopsided trades ever. With LA getting rid of the awful Kwame Brown, at least the Grizz got Marc in return. Just imagine Pau Gasol in a Hawks jersey. How weird would that be? Number 8, Vince Carter, who was the 1998 first-round pick traded by the Golden State Warriors, part of that Hardaway Weber package, but his pick was later traded by the Magic to the Bullets, back to the Warriors after Weber's departure. But Carter was traded once again after getting drafted alongside Cash to Toronto on draft day for his college teammate Antoine Jamison, who was the 4th pick. Originally, Carter didn't know about the trade until after it was announced, and VC brought plenty of excitement to Canada while Jamison spent 5 seasons with Golden State. Could you imagine the NBA if Carter never played for the Raptors? I can't. Number 7, Ray Allen, who was part of that Stephon Marbury trade in the 96 draft class. Originally selected 5th overall by the Minnesota Timberwolves, Minnesota wanted a point guard, sending Allen to the Bucks alongside a 98 first-round pick that turned out to be Rajon Nestorovich. While both players became all-stars, Allen was the best shooter of his generation. Bucks fans didn't want the trade to happen at the time. While Allen found plenty of success playing 6.5 seasons in Milwaukee, Marbury became jealous of Garnett's contract and left the Wolves. Allen and Garnett eventually teamed up in Boston after more than a decade later, but imagine if both of them were on the same team when they were younger. The Wolves might have perhaps won a championship, and both of them might have never went to Boston. Number 6, Kawhi Leonard for now, who will be higher on this list in the coming years. San Antonio got one of the biggest deals on draft night after the Pacers selected Leonard 15 overall in the 2011 draft out of San Diego State, shifted him to San Antonio alongside David Bertans and another guy I can't pronounce his name that never played a game in the NBA for George Hill. A huge mistake where the Pacers could have been a dynasty with the 2 best perimeter defenders on the same team. Instead, Kawhi became the best player on San Antonio in the 2014 finals, winning finals MVP at age 22, and after leaving San Antonio, traded to Toronto, winning a title there. PG eventually left Indy in 2017 for OKC, left after 2 years, decided to team up with Leonard on the LA Clippers in summer 2019. A crazy scenario. The two will be on the court in their primes together at the same time very soon. Number 5, Dominique Wilkins, who was taken 3rd overall in the 1982 draft by the Utah Jazz, had no desire whatsoever to play for the franchise, and several months after, he was traded to the Hawks, leaving Utah no choice, went on to play 17 seasons in the NBA, became one of the best scorers of his generation. Utah ended up drafting John Stockton and Karl Malone with the 16 and 13 pick a couple years after. The two went on to become one of the most famous duos all time. If Wilkins would have decided to stay, the Jazz could have formed one of the most unstoppable trios and possibly win a few championships, challenging Michael Jordan throughout the 90s. Number 4, Scottie Pippen, who was taken with the 5th overall pick in the 1987 draft by the Seattle SuperSonics and was traded for center Odin Polynice and other pieces. In one of the most lopsided trades ever, Pippen was the perfect piece to Michael Jordan. Being an incredible two-way player, the duo won 6 championships with the Bulls, making us all wonder to this very day, how many rings would MJ have without Scottie? Better yet, imagine what kind of damage Pippen would have done alongside Gary Payton, Hershey Hawkins, and Shawn Kemp. I'm sure they probably win some titles. Number 3, Dirk Nowitzki. In one of the biggest deals on draft night, the 7-foot German was drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks with the 9th pick in the 98 draft, was sent to Dallas alongside Pat Garrity for Robert Tractor Trailer. A huge mistake for the Bucks, where Dirk became one of the best players of his era and the face of the Mavs franchise. Trailer made no impact with the Bucks, averaged less than 5 points in 2 seasons, tragically passed away at age 34 in 2011 from a heart attack, while Dirk became an NBA champion, won Finals MVP, a regular season MVP, a 14-time All-Star, one of the all-time leading scorers, and spent a record 21 seasons, all on the same team. Number 2, Bill Russell. The 6'10 center was selected 2nd overall by the St. Louis Hawks in 1956 out of the University of San Francisco, where legendary Celtics head coach Red Auerbach traded Ed Macauley and Cliff Hagan to the Hawks for Russell, who ended up the greatest champion in all of sports, winning 11 titles in 13 years. The Rochester Royals had the 1st pick, selected star center Maurice Stoltz. Looking back, the Russell trade became one of the most genius moves all time. Number 1, Kobe Bryant. The course of NBA history would have been a lot different if the brilliance of Jerry West was not part of the Lakers, where he pursued the 17-year-old high school phenom, which was all part of his plans. Kobe was drafted 13 overall by the Charlotte Hornets and was traded 2 weeks later in exchange for Vlade Divac. While the Hornets still hasn't made a conference finals appearance yet, Kobe went on to win 5 titles with the Lakers, spent all 20 seasons there, became the best player in the 2000s, while Divac never fully materialized in Charlotte, was out after 2 seasons, then signed with Sacramento, and was abused, tortured, annihilated, bullied by Kobe and Shaq in the playoffs in the early 2000s. After the Lakers got Kobe, by getting rid of Divac, they had enough money to sign Shaq, where Orlando was hesitant to pay the 7'1" center, so he left and took his talents to Los Angeles, and Kobe and Shaq became the most unstoppable 1-2 punch the game has ever seen. Honorable mentions include Stephon Marbury, Steve Francis, and Antoine Jamison. And current players who can all become all-time greats by the time their careers are over: Luka Doncic, drafted by the Hawks; Donovan Mitchell, selected by the Nuggets; Rudy Gobert, also selected by the Nuggets; and Trae Young, selected by the Mavs.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I talk NBA comparisons, amazing storylines, NBA history, and anything basketball that will interest you. If you love the NBA, subscribe for more content, more great stuff coming soon. I love all of you. See you next time.